Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and in all honesty, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this file folder ephemera folio today or not. The reason being is I've got to stop out around 12 to get some pies made for my daughter's birthday. Today is her birthday, so I may not get finished because this has turned into quite a project, but when I finish it, it's going to be absolutely beautiful and useful, I'm pretty sure. But when we finish it, it's going to be a very useful project. All right, this is our cover. Now, since these are cut, these are 9 inches by 11 3/4. That means our page this way needs to be a little bit over 11 3/4. So this is just 12. So we're going to have about 1/4 of an inch at the top and 1/4 of an inch at the bottom on this because I didn't want to try to piece chipboard. That's just not something I want to try to do. So that's going to be fine. It's going to be plenty big enough. And then I left about 1/2 inch out here. So these pieces are cut actually it's cut at 9.5 wide, and then I just left it at the 12 inches tall. Now, our paper, of course, is 12 inches. So in order to keep from having a raw edge of chipboard at the top and at the bottom, we won't have to worry about the sides, but at the top and the bottom, I'm going to use black construction strips. The reason I'm using black is because my paper has black in it. I'm going to show you the paper that I'm going to be using. This is the paper I'm going to use for my front and back cover. Now, this is a canvas paper that I have had in my stash for probably 4 years. I've just been trying to wait and use it on a project that I really, really wanted to have sitting in front of me so that I could see this paper. This is a mixed media paper. It's canvas, so I can come back, and I may do that later on, come back and put some color in here with paints, whatever. But I'm going to use this, so I'm going to use black as my trim. I'm going to use black as my spine, but we're going to use this, and this is very tough. Like I said, it is a canvas. Let me see if I can find I don't know if they even make it anymore. This was by Tattered Angels, and it's a mixed media original collection. It was called Blooms. And like I said, I have no idea if they even make it anymore. This is the front side. That's the back side. And it is a canvas, so you can't, as you can see, I can't tear it. I mean, I can't even tear that strip. It won't tear. So that's going to be good for my cover. That way, when I'm sliding it in and out of my little shelf up here in front of me, I don't have to worry about the paper tearing. So I will try to look this up and see if they have any more anywhere. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's been many years and I'm not sure. So what we're going to do is take our construction strips. And if you don't know what construction strips are, I will link a video below where you can go and take a look at how I made the construction strips. It's not just a video for construction strips, but it's a video where we're making a box and I show you how to make the construction strips. So we're going to take one and put it at the top and one at the bottom, and that's going to kind of solve the problem of not having paper that's long enough. So I'm just going to take off my backing here. And I could have taken one off at a time, but now, I made this to go almost to the end. I'm going to leave a little bit of that because my spine is going to cover a lot of that up. Now, when you're putting these on, you need to make sure that you come just a little bit above the end of the chipboard because you're going to be folding it over. So then just fold that over. And I use score tape on this, so your score tape is going to hold that nice and tight. That's going to seal your chipboard on the end. So if you ever want to put paper on chipboard that you don't have a piece of paper large enough, just use construction strips. It works fine, and it looks very, very good, I think. Okay. And I'm not cutting the ends of these like I do sometimes at an angle, because there's no need. There we go. Oops. I could have left that one a little bit on the other end, but we've already done it now, so I'm not going to try to take that off because it would just ruin it. Okay. And then we're just going to take the backing off of the other side. And oh, and while I'm doing this, I want to thank you guys. I had so many people that sent me messages that said that they were going to send me some old books. I really, really appreciate that. I did ask, did I owe you anything, or could I give you a credit, something like that. So if you will look back, you'll notice where I put that under your comment. So if you want me to pay you or give you store credit, you just let me know, because I desperately need some old books for a project, and there's just no place around here that you can find them. I mean, we live in a small town, and we don't have any vintage shops, and we have bookstores, but they're usually just all new books. They're not any old books. I don't even need them with covers on them. I just basically need the pages. But I did have a few ladies that said that they would send me some, and I really, really appreciate that. You will get to see a project that has your books in it. All right. So all we're doing is putting this on this end. So how is everybody doing out there? Are you all well? Hope you're not sick. I hope you've avoided all of this virus stuff. And I'm hoping we're getting to the end of it. Oh, this has been a time, has it not? Does anybody want to start 2020 all over again? It's been a trial, I'm sure. All right. Now, this is going to be my spine now. I made a 4.5-inch spine. This, it's going to be wide enough, I'm pretty sure. I've not made one of these before. Like I said, we're making this up as we go. But I made a 4.5-inch spine. I didn't want it too wide to where I couldn't just grip it and pull it out of my shelf. So I kind of just went by my hand measurements. That's just right for me to grip a hold of and pull out of my shelf. So what I have done on this paper, now you can do this one the same way we did this one, put the strips on, but I wanted this paper to be wide because I want my black to come a little bit around on the front. So all I did was I cut this at, and I think I cut it at 6.5. Let me measure. This is cut at 6.5, and then I left it at 12, and then I cut 1.5 inches by 6 for each end and just glued that on. And that should be just the right size for me to put this in the center there and then glue those over, and that will give us our spine without anything showing, any pieces where I pieced it or anything like that showing on the front. And then we'll still have this part to wrap around to the front, and that's about 1 inch. I think it's 1 inch on either side. So that's what you need to do right there. Now, okay, first I'm going to go ahead and wrap these. And what I'm going to do is lay my canvas down. And I'm just going to have to try to center this canvas up as best I can, so that I have just a little bit peeking out at the top and just a tiny bit peeking out at the bottom. And then I want most of my butterfly on there. So I'm probably just going to put it right there. I'm going to mark this. know that my Collage Podge will hold it down well because it specifically says for canvas. So I'm going to put Collage Podge on here, and that's how I'm going to glue my canvas down. And I'm getting very low on this. Hopefully I will have enough. Alright, and then I just have a brush over here, and I'm going to brush this around. Now this dries perfectly clear, so if you do get it anywhere that you're not putting your canvas, don't worry about it. We don't have any more of this in the shop right now. We have more coming, but we don't have any more right now, and I need some desperately. I'm almost out. I use this on all of my mixed media. I use it on my art journal pages because this will not, when it dries, it does not dry tacky. It does not leave that tacky feel that Mod Podge and things like that does. So you don't have to worry about having that tacky feeling or your pages sticking together or anything like that. Now I'm going to go just along my black here. I'm not going to worry too much about that right now because I can always go back and add a little bit more. Whoops. That's some clumps that I need to get out of there. We don't need clumps. Okay. You can also add this to other projects to make them seal them. Have you noticed I can't talk and do this at the same time? So I'm going to make sure that I kind of get that straight. As straight as I can anyway. Looks like I need to go down a little bit. And it gives you just a little bit of time to work around and to move things around. But now you do need to press this down really well. I'm sure my score tape would have held this, but I didn't want to waste a lot of time putting the score tape on there and then pulling the backing off, all of that. I wanted to try to get this done. At least the covers. Now this you can pull tight and just keep pulling because you're not going to tear it. You are not going to tear this. If you can tear it, you're better than me because I cannot tear it. Alright, there we go. I think I may have a little bit more peeking out at the top than I do the bottom, but I'm not going to worry about it. Isn't that pretty? I love that. Ooh, love it, love it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back with my art glitter glue and just at these edges, I'm just going to put some art glitter glue under there just to kind of make sure that I got the glue all the way out to the edge. And I believe that this art glitter glue will hold this well enough right at the edge. I wouldn't have used it all over, but I think it's going to hold it well enough. Once we get finished pressing it down anyway. Since I didn't have a lot, I would have put more Collage Podge on here if I'd have had more, but since I don't have a lot, I had to use it sparingly. Okay, now let's press this down really well. Flip it over. And you notice this being canvas, no matter how much wetness you put to it, you don't have to worry about it buckling up. Another reason I wanted to use something like this is I knew I was going to be working in a big area, and I knew I was going to have to put a lot of glue behind it. All right, let's see what that looks like. I just want to make sure everything is stuck down well, and it looks like it is. Okay, so what we're going to do now is on these strips that I'm folding over, I am going to use some score tape. Now, to keep this video from being so long, I may speed this up some and just let you watch with some music. You'll be able to see everything that I do, and if there's anything that I do that I think you won't understand, then I will slow the video back down and I will go over it with you. But I just feel like that if I don't speed it up, it's going to be really, really long. And I don't want you to have to sit through another long video. All right, there is our first page. Isn't that pretty? I love that. I love it. Okay, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and cover the back just exactly like this. Just like it. And I wish I had more of the paper. I'd put it on the inside. But I only had 2 sheets left. I had bought quite a bit, but I only had 2 left. Okay, let's go ahead and cover the back. All right, now for the spine, I'm having to use just a piece of black cardstock. And I say that because I wanted to use a piece of black material, but I didn't have any that actually went with what I was doing. So I'm using some thick black cardstock. And I am going to use my score tape to adhere this chipboard to that. This is the 1-inch score tape, and right now we're completely out of the 1-inch. We have really sold a lot of art glitter glue and score tape since everybody has been on lockdown. I guess everybody is crafting, and that's a good thing, because if it's like me, crafting kind of keeps your mind off of what's going on out there in the world. So, let's see. I'm going to trim this off at the end. And again, I'll probably speed this back up just so that I can get this done. I will still come back if there's anything that I need to tell you or anything that I think that it's not something that I've done before. Okay, we have the front and the back on. This is the front, this is the back. And I double and triple checked to make sure that I put them the right way up. So hopefully we got that right. Now we're going to put a piece of paper down through here. And since I don't have any more of this paper, let me see if I have any just black and white paper. If I don't, I may just use black on the inside here. Let me look. Okay, I found this. I really like that. So it doesn't exactly match the outside, but the outside is flowers, and this is going to be, and some of this is going to be covered with pockets anyway, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Let's see. Looks like I may need to trim it off just a tiny bit to go on the height. This is an old paper. I have no clue even where this one came from. I think it was out of an old paper pad that I got many moons ago. So we're going to put that right out to the edge. And then I'm just going to mark it with my pencil. I don't want to do a lot of measuring today. So I'm just going to mark it with my pencil where I need to cut it off. Okay, so tell me how many of you just mark something with your pencil and cut, or like my daughter, Melina, she marks it with her thumbnail. She just takes her thumbnail and puts a little indentation in it, and that's how she marks her paper to cut. So sometimes I measure, sometimes I don't. Some days I just don't feel like measuring anything. I just want to get it down. Get my paper down. Okay, let's see, about right there. So we're going to right there. Okay, I want to know in the comments below if you're making this. And if you are, I definitely want to see pictures on our Facebook group. That link will be below. Okay, so we're going to put that there, and then I think here I'm just going to put another piece of black paper. I do believe. I think that'll kind of balance everything out, since I don't have a third piece of this, and I don't think I would use it even if I did. So I'm going to put this down here, and another piece of black right there. Now before I put my spine piece down, I am going to put down some Tyvek. That is going to help reinforce my spine and just make it, because this is going to be opened and closed a lot. So we want to make sure that the spine is nice and sturdy. So I'm just putting art glue all over. I'm putting it down in the little crevice there. And I'm just gluing this down. I don't have the kind that has the sticky on the back right now, so we're just going to glue this piece down. And I'm probably going to move it over a little bit. I want my black piece to cover that up, hopefully. So there is one piece, and then we have just another little piece here that we're going to put down here. And I'm just going to cut that off. This one was part of the envelope, so it had a little bit of sticky on the top of it. Oh, I say a little bit stuck to my scissors. If you don't know what Tyvek is, I'll put a link to it below. It is just those envelopes that you can get, and sometimes they're real tough. You can't even tear them. They're made out of Tyvek. So I'll put a link below so that you can go over and check that out if you want. Alright, I am just running that Tyvek down in that spine piece, down in between, just like that. And then let's see if we got another long one to go to the other side. This is just some old envelopes that I have cut up to make some strips. And I didn't get them, I did not get them from the post office. I actually purchased these from Amazon. The Tyvek sheets are not expensive at all. And I shouldn't have put my art glitter glue down on top of that until I got finished with this, but it was an afterthought. And I already had it down, so we're just going to go. I may have to add a little bit more, and if I do, that's fine. No problem. I think I can use this little piece down here. It doesn't have to be straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. Everything it's all going to be covered up. This is just to reinforce that spine. That's all it is, because you can't tear this stuff. Well, most people can't tear it. I can't. Okay, there we go. Got that down. Put a little bit more glue right there. And a little bit more right there. We want it all stuck down well. And now we can put our centerpiece on. Yes, it's just going to cover it. Thank goodness. I was afraid I had messed up when I put this glue down and got those wide pieces of that Tyvek, because I really didn't have time to cut them down because my glue was drying fast. So we're just going to put this piece down. Now this piece is cut the same width as the outside piece is. It is just a little bit shorter. It's 12. I left it at 12 inches. So it's 12 by 6.5. I got glue all over me. And I got glue on my bone folder. So we need to wipe that off. I've got a tiny bit of that Tyvek showing right there, but I'm not going to worry about that. I will remedy that later. Now we're going to go back and put glue on top of this Tyvek. Now that I've kind of got that down in there. Okay, now we're going to fold the spine pieces over. And I'm just going to use my art glitter glue here. I think it'll be fine. I don't think I'll have a problem with it at all. Okay, I'm going to let that dry really well before I try to bend it. All right, guys, time has got away from me. It is already 8 minutes after 12 here, so I'm going to have to stop for the day. This is our cover, and it bends up perfectly. Isn't that pretty? It's so big I can't even get it all in camera. That's how wide it's going to be. It's going to be a nice size. And you can see my covers are really, really nice and flat. So that's going to be our cover. We're going to glue the pages in tomorrow, but I did go ahead and make a pocket for the front and a pocket for the back. So I will tell you the sizes of these, and then I'll go because I've got to edit this video and get it up and then make those pies for my kids. All right, this is 8 1/4 by 6 1/2. That's the front one. This one is 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to put this one on the back and this one in the front, and then we can just slide. Like, I have a lot of these little sheets. They're the not acetate, they're the vellum sheets that I have gotten out of different packages from Prima. So I'm going to put these in one of them so that I can keep those stored away. This glue dries, we're going to stitch on the top of this just like we did the pockets, and then I'm going to glue these in. So then tomorrow we're going to come back and we're going to put our pages in there, and that should be it. We will have it finished. All right, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this type of video and you want to see more of upcycle projects, 3D projects, albums, journals, anything like that, make sure that you give this a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and we will talk to you guys later.